Taylor really scrubbing those tires. Very aggressive.
These guys have had a couple different battles in 2015 and 2016 battling for the lead. So these two have raced against each other many times before, had some issues before racing side by side with the Montana 200 last year. So keep your eye on Taylor and Preston, two of the best in the West. And over the last couple of years, these two drivers have won a lot of races, racing against each other a lot. This could be a good one right here. Kind of a repeat battle of the 2016 Summer Showdown between these two.
Preston Peltier on the inside, bringing him around real slow. He's clear down in second gear, I think, at this point. He's going to hit third gear just about right there, and he's going to put the hammer down. Let's see what happens with Taylor Riddle. He's bringing him down slow. He's getting a great start. Taylor on the outside, drops him back in.
Preston Peltier with a great start over Taylor Riddle. Here comes Willie Allen up in the outside lane, that 12 car battling his teammate. They're going to drop into nose to tail throughout the field most of the way back.
Willie Allen in that 12 car, the farthest up he's been in the field all day long. He knows the race. He's racing on the Camping World Truck Series.
Here comes Taylor Riddle snapping right back in there. Battle back between Brittany Zamora and Buddy Shepard side by side. Jan Evans up on the high side on the back stretch, battling with Mitch Klein. So we got a couple places there 2x2. Here comes Jeff Knight on that high side on the outside of Daniel Moore.
Here comes Doss, Jeremy Doss now trying to get underneath Buddy Shepard. Doss on the inside as they go into turn number one, side by side. Doss with a real good corner. Buddy Shepard up the banking. And Doss takes over that position. Moore now on the inside, looking to pick up one more position as they go into three.
We talked about Jeremy Doss, that he made a lot of adjustments on that car off the break, and here he comes. Looks like they got that car figured out now as he's looking the inside of Brittany Zamora going out into turn number one.
And Doss makes the pass. He is on the move. Keep your eye on that 75 car. He is one of the fastest cars in. We got a car slow. That's the 35 car.
Looks like Greg Scott now, the right side of that car has come completely off and is flying up in the winds. Officials letting him know they want him off the track.
Jeremy Doss all the way up into 8th position, but he is flat, picking him up and setting him down. He's ready to pick up a whole bunch more positions. Last lap, he went at 22.9. Our leaders are clear up in the 23-second bracket.
So it's Peltier and Riddle up on top there. Here comes Jeremy Doss looking to go by Eggleston. Down the backstretch they go. Good battle back between Molly Helmuth and Chad Fitzpatrick side by side. Jace Hansen coming through the pack. Here comes Garrett Evans trying to move the outside of Mitch Klein as they battle for position back there. And Evans now looking to the outside of his son of Jan Evans.
Jeremy Doss underneath Eggleston as they go into one. Jeremy Doss is the fastest car on the racetrack right now. Look at him. He's coming up 1-2 car lengths off of Eggleston in one corner. Now he's setting sail for the Touche car, the number 35.
They come down the front stretch. It is still Peltier and Riddle, but here comes Jeremy Doss coming, trying to crack that top five. Good battle back between Davidson and Johnson and Allen. That's for that third spot there.
I'll tell you, Preston Peltier is backing off early. He is not driving that car as hard as he needs to. He's just enough to stay ahead of the 15 car. Listen, he backs off way early.
Here comes Chris Davidson, the inside of Lex Johnson. That's for the fourth position. The Texas driver trying to get back onto the podium spot from last year.
And Jeremy Doss gets around Touche and gets now up into the 5th position. That car is on a tear.
Lex Johnson now the outside of his teammate Willie on a 3-car battle for third. So it is Peltier and Riddle, Johnson, Davidson, and Allen all working together up there. Davidson on the inside of Willie Allen now. Some great battles out there. A car you got to keep your eye on. I've been watching the last 4 or 5 laps. Garrett Evans is on a tear right now in that 64 car. He's moved up to about 5 positions since the break, and here he comes to 64.
Well, the 64 is one lap down, but if they have a caution, no, he's not. Okay, he's on the lead lap. Okay, I'm sorry.
He got a lucky dog back there, the one of the K9 Experience lucky dogs.
Dodge now gets around Willie Allen. Dots is in fifth. Trying to set sail for Davidson. Dots is extremely fast right now.
So it's still Peltier up front there. Chris Davidson looking to the inside of Johnson. So we got battles all over. Here comes Touche looking to the inside of Allen now.
Listen to that 48 car as he comes down the front chute. He's backing off way early. Both the leaders up there. Taylor Riddle with the 26 car into the pit area.
The 26 of John Newhouse off the track.
Davidson now around. Well, not so quick. Looked like he might get around the 22 car of Lex Johnson. Doss right underneath the rear bumper cover.
Davidson looking to the inside of Johnson.
Doss looking to the outside of Davidson. Doss going to put the move. Wow, what a bite off of turn number 2. Jeremy Dawson, he dives that baby into 3.
Your leaders, your top 2 cars now starting to put some separation between them and Johnson.
Jeremy Doss working the outside groove. Trying to do a crossover move on the 22. Yes, he does. Down the back chute.
Jeremy Doss looking to move up to the 3rd spot, so the California driver is now in 3rd, so it's Colorado, Washington, and California.
Oh, contact in turn 1 between the 75 and the 22. No harm, no foul. Jeremy Doss all the way up to 3rd.
It's still Doss, Davidson, and Johnson, though, have a great battle right there for position. Starting to see some new lines driven out there. Buddy Shepard falling back a little bit in that 43 car.
I think if you talk to the crews of the 48 and the 15, they're going to tell you, okay, we're just kind of cruising right now. I think Jeremy Doss is probably satisfied to run in 3rd position right now.
And Davidson finally clears Johnson, so Johnson now back to 5th spot.
It's Preston Peltier, Riddle, Doss, Davidson, Johnson, Allen, Touche, Eggleston, Moore, and Zamora round out your top 10.
Riddle all over that back bumper of Peltier for the battle. They both know here comes Jeremy Doss to put pressure on them. And Garrett Evans now has made himself all the way up into the top 10, putting the battle on Brittany Zamora. Evans to the inside of Zamora off of turn number 4.
As Evans is trying to get himself up into the top 10, sitting in the 11th spot right now, he is on the lead lap.
Willie Allen running a really high line right now in that 12B car. Watch him as he goes down into turn 1. He's about a groove and a half higher than everybody else. And it's working out for pretty well. It's almost the Jay Sauls line.
That is the Jay Sauls line. And you can see he gets a tremendous run off of the corner. The high line, he's doing it in 3 and 4 also. Taking the high line, looks at, see if it'll work for him.
As he looks to go around his teammate Lex Johnson. Johnson slowing down in that 12 car.
I don't know. I'm afraid something's wrong with that 22 car, Lex Johnson. He's not cornering like he was. I don't know if he's got a tire going down or what. Let's keep our eye on him. Lex Johnson turned to 24-3 that time.
So Johnson definitely off the pace that he was earlier. Touche all over that back bumper. Evans to the outside of Zamora for the top 10 position. Down the backstretch they go. Evans on the outside, Zamora on the inside.
Willie Allen running that high line and just as fast as the leaders. Turning laps almost identical to our leaders. So he found a little something up there. He likes that Jay Sauls line. Rob Touche putting a lot of pressure on. Oh, now Lex Johnson has moved up. Lex Johnson says, hey, that worked for my teammate. I'm going to try it. Keep your eye on him. Let's see if he does it. Yes, he does.
So trying a second group out, kind of interesting. We've seen this happen before and be successful for him. And somebody's motor not sounding right that last time by. I don't know if that was Lang or Lathrop, but somebody's motor sounded way off coming down the front stretch there.
Well, Lex Johnson didn't try that high line again that time because he knows he's got that 35 car right underneath his rear bumper cover.
And a pass for second toss to the inside of Riddle off of turn number 4.
Riddle was waving his hand out the window.
He's waving his hand out the
waving
window.
His hand.
There's a problem with the Taylor Riddle car number 15. Slow down the front stretch is waving his hand. As Doss moved up into second. Let's see what happens here.
Taylor Riddle, something going sour on the 15 car. Was running up there in the top 2, and something just goes sour out there.
Oh, tough break for the Natchez Washington Racer. Into the pit area, starting to lose laps.
I got an update on, we got a car sideways. Zamora and Jensen sideways with Jeff Knight as well. Let's go down trackside. Kelly Howell has an update on Taylor Riddle.
Yeah, I just spoke with Owen Riddle and Taylor coming in, motor.
Oh, bad luck.
They had a motor issue at the Galloway as well, as you see Zamora and Knight and Jensen all return it back around there. Those three were all battling for like 11th, 12th, and 13th position out there.
Wow. Taylor Riddle with an engine problem. That's a real tough break for both Riddle boys. So now we've got a new front row this time. We got Jeremy Doss in the second position. These guys are really turning some good laps. Peltier, your leader. Doss, Davison, Willie Allen, Johnson, Touche, Eggleston, Daniel Moore with a great run. Garrett Evans is in 9th, and Molly Helmuth is in 10th position.
So tough break for Jensen, Zamora, and Knight. They were all running up there in the top 10. And Knight has stopped down there on the inside of turn number 2. Was looking really good out there.
Trying to see when they come around if there's any damage to these cars. The race has been relatively, well, we got a lot of damage. No, we don't. Yes, we do. On the right side, it's going to have to pull into the area. Oh, no. Crew says no, do not pull in.
I have Taylor Riddle.
Let's go down trackside with Kelly Hell. He's got Taylor Riddle.
Taylor, kind of a repeat of the Galloway. What's going on?
Just kind of a weird coincidence. Another electrical problem, but this time it was the alternator wire there broke off and shorted out the alternator and just ran out of battery.
There you go. Very disappointed Taylor Riddle. He knows he had a car to maybe become the first repeat winner of the Summer Showdown.
Tough break there for Taylor Riddle. Has had great cars at both the Galloway and the Summer Showdown there. So tough break for that young man right there.
Well, the whole Riddle team are top teams in the Northwest. Now it looks like Supergirl's going to pull it in, and they'll have to reattach some of the sheet metal on the right-hand side, aluminum doors, kind of bending back. They'll probably do a little bit of racer tape on it. Yeah, I can see that's what they're doing. So she'll have to start in the back of the pack. I do not believe she has lost any laps. No, she's at 122. So
Report on Zamora.
And let's go down trackside. Hannah Newhouse with the report on Brittany Zamora.
Yeah, like you said, she's got pretty heavy damage over here on the right side of the car. The team's got duct tape, helicopter tape, and they're actually trimming a right side of the car with that metal, that sheet metal, so they don't have an issue later on in the race having to come off and take care of it. They've got a hammer as well. They're making sure that Brittany is good to go so she doesn't have issues with it later, but she does have pretty significant damage behind the right side of that car.
good report, and they are not losing laps because we quit counting after two laps, so she can stay in there until we go green flag again and just have to start at the back of the pack. Now we have the 24 car pulling back in again of Roger Drake in the Hager machine. So
want to point out a few things coming up here on Wednesdays, July 4th. It is the USA Birthday Bash here at Evergreen Speedway. Demolition Derby, school bus racing, boat racing, figure eight racing, and a great fireworks show all coming here. Evergreen Speedway, brought to you by Nelson Motorsports on Wednesday. Get your tickets at evergreenspeedway.com. And lots of tickets still available for that one. The reserve seating, though, selling very, very fast. As we see Buddy Shepard pulling in the pits down there in the 43 car.
well, we see what happened. He was dropping back, and so obviously a problem somewhere with that car. Looks like Kelly Hale's hot-footing it over there to see if he can get a report for it. Boy, they're doing an awesome job for us in the pit reporting today.
Heck, a couple of years ago, that was me and you down there. And I know how much work it is to do in the pits because you wear off your shoes quite a bit when you're down there on the track side. And Kelly and Hannah hanging out with us all weekend long. And Kelly's got a report on Buddy Shepard.
Yeah, they're just making an air pressure adjustment on the right side. That's otherwise, but yeah, I noticed that too. But he was really dropping back, and I was actually on my way over here to check with the crew when the Zamora and Knight deal happened and Taylor coming in. But it sounds like it's just going to be an air pressure adjustment.
And Jeff Knight is in the pits now in the 70 car. He was running up there top 10, involved with that incident over in turns 1 and 2. You see the crew going to look at the 70 car of Jeff Knight.
Report on Jeff Knight.
And let's go down trackside report with Hannah Newhouse on Jeff Knight.
Yeah, the team's over assisting him. It looks like they're actually handling something more on the radio side. They're swapping out cords, plugging things back into his helmet. Looks like there was a potential of maybe some radio communication lost, but they're making sure that they get all the right cords back in place so Jeff has communication with his spotter.
Spotter's a pretty important thing. I mean, a lot of short track racing, but here the 5/8 track, and it's such a big track compared to the race at. I mean, spotter communication very important here, and it's opened up turns 3 and 4 compared to what it usually is. We usually have cars pitted down there, but now it's completely open down there, and spotters can see everything through turns 3 and 4.
We get to see a whole new restart strategy this time. We got Das and on the outside, Peltier on the inside. And so we'll see what happens on this restart. This one.
I was going to say, the interesting thing, these two drivers were two of the top 5 qualifiers this year at the Snowball Derby.
Right.
You want to talk about we have the best in the country? They were at the #1 ranked super late model short track race in the country, the Snowball Derby. These two were two of the top 5 qualifiers. They both led the Snowball Derby, and they're here at the Summer Showdown now, side by side with each other. And it's going to be a fun one to watch as getting reports.
Our lights are still on the pace car, so that means we are not going to go green flag this time by. I'll see, trying to find out from NASCAR officials. Looks like maybe the 00 car is not in the position that they would like to have him be. Oh, we're having a couple of arguments out there on where they should be. So they'll get it sorted around. Looks like we're going to go 1 to go next time by. Like we said so many times, when the light goes out on that pace car, we will go green flag racing next lap.
So interesting report was a couple of the drivers said there's a couple spots of water that have came up below the